Ooh, 10 seconds early. Why, hello, hello. Louis, it's great to see you for a minute at the show, man. There, at the show, man. There. I'll have to. I think we're coming out to Arizona. Well, we're definitely trying to come out to Arizona sometime this year, so maybe we can swing by and check you guys out in your home state too. Would be cool. We're going to visit a buddy out there. I got a buddy, Jeff, really good buddy that lives out in Kirkland, which is a very small place. I don't know if you know where Kirkland is, but Prescott is the next nearest town, about 25 miles southwest of Prescott. Really cool place. Why, hello, hello, Mr. Sexton. Indigos, yes, Indigos. That is the main point of tonight's live stream. I figured we talk a little bit about Sandy and her hello, and maybe a couple other details about the show, and then definitely like pull out the Indigos and check them out, and hopefully get nice, good shots of them. I'll probably end up turning the camera this way so that we can get them well lit and whatnot. I'll pull them out in just a second. Ooh, slap at the bass. Oh, slap at the bass. Yeah, feeling much better today than yesterday. So tired yesterday. I think I slept like 10 hours last night, which is a lot of sleep for me. I did know that I was going to buy some sort of dry mark at the show for sure. I'd spoken with Robert Bruce, who is the Indigo breeder. If you guys watch Triple B TV back, one of my very first Pomona interviews was Robert Bruce, who is the #1 indigo guy in the state of California. That's all he works with is indigos. He's been doing it for a long time. He knows them like the back of his hand. And I had called him before the show, telling him that I was hoping to pick one up from him at the show. So we had a phone call, maybe a week before the show, and we talked about what it was I was looking for and potentially breeding them and whether or not I was going to breed them, and what my best options would be as far as a first, to be a male if it's going to be a pet, or if it's going to, this and that. And because he also doesn't really part with females all that much, and when he does, it's very limited and often only in pairs. And he had mentioned that he might be willing to part with just a female, not in a pair, for me. But a big part of the reason I've been on the fence about indigos for so long is that I didn't know which direction exactly I wanted to go. Even just dry marcon in general, like I was still kind of on the fence about, am I really dead set on indigo, or do I want to go with Crebo? This is something I've been pondering for a long, long, long time. I always have tended to lean towards indigo, I think, but Crebo is really cool too, because especially the Crebos have the eye stripes going down the side. But the thing is, the red, and then you have the red throat phase of the indigo, which is the other battle I was facing, was the black versus the red throat. With the red throat, you do get to see they have those same kind of Crebo markings coming down from the eyes that show up because because the rest of the snake's lighter. It still has those like teardrop, really cool markings on the eye. So I ended up getting the pair, and the male is red throat, and the female is the jet black variety. So I got the best of both worlds and the potential to produce indigos in the future, even though I have no idea how to breed them. And I don't know that I would ask Robert, because he'd be basically creating his own competition when he's like got almost a lock on indigos here, with the exception of like Black Pearl. And yeah, but should I just stop blabbing and pull him out, or? Yeah, I wanted to. It's been a long time, Mr. Platts. Was that him giving the cage set of advice behind your snake shedding video? Yeah, probably. Yeah, yes, definitely. He was right. Yeah, that was right at his booth. And Matt and Kendall from SoCal Herps were there before me. I guess he had talked to They're friends with him, so I didn't know that. Matt told me one point, he's like, I heard a little birdie told me that you're getting indigos. I didn't realize they'd heard it from Robert himself. Had told Kendall that I had been talking about that. And so they made it to the table before me, and the pair that I went there on Saturday to his table, and he didn't have the pair that I ended up getting. He didn't have it there with him, and because we still weren't sure what I was going to end up getting. He's like, I do have this pair at home that he didn't even bring to the show at first, because he wasn't planning to sell them. Yes, I'll pull them out in just a second, Marshall, I promise. He wasn't planning to sell this pair, so I was very fortunate in that. It was like, they're basically a flawless pair, male red throat, female black. And Matt and Kendall got there beforehand, and I didn't know they knew him so well. and pulled a little inside joke on me, or pulled a little prank. And on the pair that I was gonna try and get, he wrote on there "sold to SoCal Herps" that they got there and bought them before because I wasn't able to get to his booth till like after I was doing interviews all day on Sunday. I didn't get there like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And they actually sold me on it for a second. It wasn't very nice, but and then the snake prepared, which I put that video up for you guys on that Music Man channel that I've been using. Basically, what I'm doing with that Music Man channel is that was my first YouTube channel. I mean, I just started it so I could upload a video to it, and I think the first one was like my buddy Adam. He's a guitar player of the band I played in for a long time, and he was in my house, and he had like a bunch of cash. I don't know if I paid him cash from a show or something, but he had like a bunch of, and it's all sideways. It's like you're watching the video sideways, and he just does this little ditty about money, 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 ooh, doo, 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 doo. And that was like it. That was my first YouTube video ever, and it's on that channel. And so I'm using that channel to just upload like raw footage, and I'm gonna like, that's gonna be some of the Patreon bonus stuff, is for you guys to instantly see some of that stuff. I'm gonna put up another video on there probably tomorrow of when Riley was here and we're checking out the snakes that he got at the show, and then kids just hanging out in like a impromptu no one knows and whatnot. Oh yeah, you can ask it was $2,600 for the pair. $2,600 for the pair of the flawless snakes, which I should probably get out now. So this is the female, and she's got a little bit of aspen dust on her head. Not too bad. But these snakes, one of the really cool things about these snakes is how they are very much like act and move a lot like a king cobra. In fact, I don't remember. Oh man, my hand is messed up. I don't remember who was just telling me this recently, but who was telling me this? Oh, I think it was John Michael. I interviewed John Michaels from Black Pearl for Triple B TV, and he was showing off one of the big Crebos, and he was saying that there's people that come to him who are zookeepers that work with king cobras in a zoo, but they're not able to keep them at home, so they come to him. Wanting to keep something that's like a king cobra that they're allowed to, basically. And it's not focusing very well at all here. I'm gonna try to flip around to the other camera. Their temperament is that they're very, very food driven, and they'll come flying out of their cage and just get really excited when it's food time. But they are likely the most intelligent non-venomous snakes on the planet, is basically what the general consensus is. Get some better lighting in here. There we go. And the females get small. The males get larger than the females, and they get about, I'm so horrible with lengths, but I want to say they can get like a good 7-8 feet. There we go. I've got really cool tongues, nice wide. And of course I'll be, at some point I'll be doing some nice macro footage of these snakes and covering all the detail really well. There you can kind of see the sheen, that indigo sheen on the lower part of the neck right there. Yeah, living the dream, man, that's the idea. So these things are just, they just appear, they're not truly black. Indigo, very, very dark indigo. Thanks, Marshall. I generally quarantine for, I used to do 90 days. Sometimes it ends up being longer. What I've done more recently is wait for at least 2 full shed cycles to pass. Kind of whichever comes last, I guess. If it's a younger snake and they end up having more than 2 shed cycles within the 90 days, then I'll wait till the 90 days. If it's been 90 days and they've only had 1 shed cycle, I'll wait for that second shed cycle. That's basically what I do, as a general rule of thumb. But something I'd like to start incorporating into that is, potentially a fecal sample. Especially as the things grow around here and it becomes more and more of a, something that could potentially wipe out. Even though it comes from somebody who's a 100% qualified breeder like Robert Bruce, I don't. Oh wow, you're really seeing the. This is the first time I've actually seen the iridescence on them. I just caught it there for half a second. It's not like python scales where it's real easy to see the iridescence. These guys are so black it just comes through. So anyway, with the quarantine, yeah, incorporating a fecal sample, and also there's a test out there that was just developed by Cody and Pia. I'm spacing on their last name right now. It's Forrest Fanning's really best friend, Cody. I don't know. I'm spacing on his last name right now, but they developed a nido test. You test for nidovirus, which I guess doesn't really matter with the colubrid, but that's something I want to incorporate into the quarantine process as well. Here, look at the bottom scales. Really get that rainbow shining through on those scales. But even more so than how cool these snakes look, which is really, really cool, their temperament and just, yeah, these are colubrids. These are basically the largest North American colubrid, maybe the largest colubrid species in general. There may be longer ones in like Southeast Asia. I don't know if some of the Pitayas actually end up getting longer. I think these ones are the most beastie, like the biggest heads and whatnot. I'm pretty sure about that. So they're both yearlings, which is also awesome. Yeah, she's the more chill of the two. Yeah, I believe they're protected across the nation. I believe, yeah, but places like probably Texas and I would assume like Georgia and Florida. I don't think you can even keep them out there. Kind of like I believe don't quote me on that, but I feel like I heard that you're not able to keep them without maybe unless you have like some serious permit, but maybe not even at all. And you can't purchase them across state lines without a permit. Yeah, they're indigenous to Florida and Georgia for sure, and I think there's probably some there's some in Texas, right? There's some in Texas. Yeah, they got big scales on the head. That's where the cobra likeness comes into play. The big old fat palladial scales and yeah, so they're really sweet. And she's the more mellow and laid back of the two, I would say. Just a lot more docile and kind of chill. Yeah, so this is the eastern variety. I believe the Texas indigos have a bit more speckling. Yeah, and she is just flawless, man. Yeah, indigos will eat just about anything. Is what that's what I understand. They'll eat anything, and a lot of it, because they're so active too that they have really high metabolism. But look at how chill she is. She's kicking it. She's like, all right, we could do this. Yeah, I'm definitely mesmerized. I'm just sitting here like, I believe females is around 4 years, and 3 to 4 years, and males a year earlier, roughly. but really cool. And this ended up being a good age to get her, I think, because they're both yearlings. They're an unrelated pair. I think he said they don't even have the same grandparents. You didn't totally miss it, Lori. We still haven't shown the male yet, so we're just focusing on the female here, who's nice and chill. We'll see how the male is. I'm going to put this down while I grab him out so that I can get him with two hands. Say goodbye to her. She's gonna go in. Yeah, she's found her happy place. She's just chilling. Want to climb back in there? Go ahead. It's all you. Oakley dokley. So they haven't eaten for me yet. Well, I haven't offered yet, to be fair. It's not they haven't eaten, I just haven't offered. I'm assuming that they're not that they're going to take right away. I got them some adult frozen thawed mice. And what Robert recommended is that when I thaw them, if you guys know, I usually thaw most of my feeders at room temperature and then heat them later. He recommended to thaw them in warm water so that it softens up the claws. He said he's had issues with the claws being too sharp, and actually he lost snakes because of sharp claws, so he recommended to. And they always do this. That's what Riley mentioned, because he was doing it, she did it, where they like wrap their tail around themselves. And he's more the mover. Let me see if I can do a one-handed thing here with the camera, though. I can just pull it in front of me like this and flip that around. So you can see that red. He's got a lot of that red coming up his neck, and as I've seen with the older snakes Robert has there, this becomes more, the red gets deeper as they get older, and the males in particular tend to have the brighter red. So it was really the perfect pair that he offered to me. Look at that massive tongue, so cool. And then the other thing with the red is you get those same stripes under the eye, like you do with the black-tailed Cribos, which is one of my favorite things about the Cribos was those eye stripes. So it's almost like the best of both worlds. But he's finding his happy place too. He's just chilling. It's definitely a different animal. It's gonna be really fun to watch these guys grow up. And so, according to Robert, yes, exactly, Kenny. The dark phase, the black phase, is recessive to the red throat. And he found out recently that the red throat is basically it's a dominant trait, but he found that it was a phone call. So he found that the red throat phase is incomplete dominant it could be considered dominant, but there's actually a difference he noticed in the homozygous versions. So it actually could be considered incomplete dominant. He said the babies of the homozygous red throats, which would basically throw 100% red throats, had a lot of light speckling going down the body as babies. And he found that out the hard way by letting go of all those babies and just keeping the ones that were black. And then I think maybe finding out from the people he let him go to that those were homozygous red throat. So yeah, so this guy is a heterozygous red throat. And with the female being the black indigo, if and when we do pair these up and, way down the line, potentially get a clutch, then yeah, 50-50 red throats and black phase. So it was really the perfect pair to pick up, especially considering I was having so much trouble deciding between red and black. As you can see, yeah, as I mentioned, the male is more the mover and shaker, and the female tends to be ready to chill a little more. But if I flip them, sometimes they do the lizard thing where if you just do them a little flip, maybe not right now. Right now he just kind of wants to go. But I was doing this the other day when Riley was here. I would just kind of turn them, and Robert showed me it, and you just kind of turn them over a little bit, keeping their head upright, but most of the body flipped over like that, and they would just kind of stop and chill and hang out. But he also did mention that he's worked with them enough that usually a snake wouldn't let you do that. Wouldn't let you just hold it belly up like that and stay chill. Hey, nice pickup on the Black King. Those are cool. When I posted this in some of the Facebook groups, some people were. I posted the female, and some people were convinced that it was a MBK. Yeah. Really freaking cool, man. So stoked. It's been so long that I've been wanting to get one of these snakes, man. Yeah, that turned out really well. Well, the family is they've started Jurassic World without me. We're doing a little family movie night here, so I'm gonna go jump in and join them. But you guys can get a hold of me anytime. I'm gonna be this is an Indigo Mason. Yeah, Chris, you read my mind. These guys are we'll be seeing some nice detailed shots of these guys in a upcoming video very soon. And probably go, not right away, but at some point, I definitely want to take him outside and check him out cruising around. But, there he is. Sorry, buddy, I'm not supporting you very well. But yeah, Triple B TV tomorrow. Carla, One Soft Kiss, one of the Snakes with Friends episode. I haven't done one in a long time, but we're doing one of those, so it should be pretty cool. And in the meantime, yes, going to Freedom Breeder tomorrow, Marshall. So if there's anything you want me to do while I'm there, that I know for Garrett, there's these old racks there that he wanted to see some video of, so I was gonna try and get up to the top of the warehouse and show him, do a video with him and show him what's going on up there. But yeah, tomorrow going to Freedom Breeder. So Ween, oh, my buddy Ben had an old Ween record. It was like a green record. I'll have to listen to it and see what I can find that fits in. But yeah, if you guys need anything, just get a hold of me, send me a message. And place your order. Make sure Jesse gives you that discount for being such a helping hand at the setup at Tinley. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. You guys have a good night. Oh, snaky.